I made a Bhagavad Gita app with a buddy, and I already made one a couple years ago for the Amazon Alexa. So a user could access the Bhagavad Gita with their voice and interact with it. And I was showing that to my friend, and he was like, "What if we had a website?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, we already have all the resources in place, and a simple website isn't that hard or time consuming." So we made one. And by we, I mean he threw some ideas at me and I built him. So here's the website, hosted currently on my computer. It is live. I'll put the link in the description. But there's three features. There's a browser, a search, and a random verse for fun. So the browser, you pretty much can just see every verse as you want. So we'll go to chapter 10, and here it updates that there is 42 verses in chapter 10, 42 verses in chapter 10. So we can go to 35. So here we have chapter 10 verse 35. So I'm not going to read that, but basically there's the Sanskrit, the English phonetics of how this one would say, like the sloka or the verse, and then underneath is the English translation. I didn't translate any of these. I found the translations on the internet. So if you feel like correcting me, you can leave a comment or make a pull request on the GitHub repository. But going back to the feature, so here we see 1 to 42. If we go to chapter 7, changes to 1 to 30. If we go to chapter 14, changes 1 to 27. If we go to chapter 15, changes to 20. So just to show like that, you don't really need to have pre-existing knowledge of how many verses are in the Gita. You can just use this tool. Anybody with any level of knowledge can use this tool to find anything in the Gita. So this denotes the selected chapter and verse. This is the English phonetics. This is the English translation, and this is the actual audio. So every audio, the first part of it is gonna be the Sanskrit part, and the second half of it will be the translation. So we'll skip ahead.
I'm the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life, outgoing and incoming, to digest the four kinds of foodstuff.
Cool. So as you can tell, the translation here on the webpage doesn't exactly match the audio, and honestly, that is not my problem. So now we'll go to the search phrase. It says to do, but it's done. So let's say we wanted to see where all instances of, right here, what does the Gita say about being sad? So I can type in sad. Okay. Again, same deal. Here's the chapter and the verse. Here's the Sanskrit. Here's the English. So let's see what chapter 2 verse 25 says. It is said that he is unmanifest, unthinkable, and unchanging. Therefore, knowing he to be so, put away your useless sadness. So I'm no expert, but I think he refers to Vishnu or the big god or whoever. I don't know. And basically saying, knowing that, like good, assuming that the he in this case represents some great thing, knowing that greatness is permanent and is always accessible or whatever, there's no reason to be sad because you can always have faith knowing that goodness or he is out there. Cool. Listen, I didn't write this. I just wrote the code. But let's see, like, what does the Bhagavad Gita say about duty? And, better to perform one's own duty or dharma, though deprived. I mean, you can read that later, chapter 3, verse 35. What does the Bhagavad Gita say about candy? Oh, it doesn't look like it says anything about candy. So yeah, that's how search works. I'll go to random verse. So there are 700 verses in the Bhagavad Gita, and this just picks anyone. So here's chapter 1, verse 25, chapter 17, verse 28, chapter 4, verse 34, chapter 5, verse 28, and each time you generate a verse or you get one, you get the correct audio for it too. Okay, we'll do another one. Chapter 14, verse 4. Yeah, so it's what this website does at the moment, and I will put the link in the description of this video. But yeah, feel free to post any kind or share any kind of feedback or recommendations. As for the audio, I don't know who made those audios, so if there's a problem with the pronunciation, maybe you could upload an audio and I could use it. Otherwise, it is what it is. Cool, thanks.